Glory to Jesus Christ, and welcome to St. Cyril and Methodius Ukrainian Orthodox Church in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm Father Gregory, the pastor. For those of you who've been following these little videos I've been putting up, you probably notice I changed the camera angle just because I was feeling a little wacky. Today is Sunday, July 16th, the Sunday of the Fathers of the first 6 ecumenical councils. The ecumenical councils were concerned with one thing and one thing alone, and that was telling the truth about Jesus Christ and about God, the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's easy, though, sometimes to decide that we don't want to tell the truth. We sort of shy away from it. At least I do. And one of the reasons for that, I think, is that the truth is not just hard, but often it is challenging. It doesn't necessarily suit me. And to understand why, I think maybe go to a quote from G.K. Chesterton in his lovely book, The Heretics. He says, "Truth, of course, must necessarily be stranger than fiction, for we have made fiction to suit ourselves." This is the problem with a lie. Lies are made to suit me. They serve my agenda. They serve the needs of my own ego. And we need to be careful, because one of the things that the ecumenical councils remind us of is that lying is not something which is the unique property of the unbeliever, of the person who has not embraced the gospel. Christians fall into lying as well. Heresy is one of the best examples of that. So we're always challenged to be willing to we're always challenged to live, as my father-in-law says, in the truth. Am I willing to be truthful? That's something I have to ask myself again and again and again. Unfortunately, we've seen, especially in the church in America, an increased willingness to not live by the truth. We've seen an increased willingness to entertain pious fictions. Some of those on the left have to do with issues of sexuality. On the right, they tend to have to do with things about politics. But in either case, we see this growing tendency in some parts of the church to not want to live by the truth, but to live, if not by lies, then by pleasing fiction. I experienced this a great deal as a priest in the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, because often people have these very strange notions about Russia's invasion of Ukraine, especially the status of the church in Ukraine. And what it really comes to is that a lot of people have come into the Orthodox Church wanting to find affirmation of sort of their political or their cultural preferences. Many of these are even true, is sort of beside the point. We have this tendency to want to put the church to the service of our own agenda. At least I do. And again, that's not something that is unique to the right or the left. I experience it more from the right at the moment, even though I'm fairly conservative, because again, it has a more immediate impact on Ukrainian Orthodox Christians. But come back to the question, why not live by the truth? Why not simply tell the truth? Well, to tell the truth requires, first of all, that I know it, and second, that I accept it. But what's probably most difficult about telling the truth is that I have to be willing to accept responsibility for the consequences of saying things which are true. And when I say things which are true, I implicate myself, because when I speak the truth in love, as so Paul says, I'm not just speaking to another person, I'm speaking fundamentally to myself. I don't want to tell the truth because, frankly, I don't want to know the truth about myself. And yet, as St. Anthony the Great tells us, if I wish to know God, I must first know myself. And so that's really what it comes down to. I don't want to know myself. I want to know, I want to believe in the fiction I tell myself about myself. I want to believe in the fiction I tell myself about the world around me, about politics, about morality, about God. I love my fiction because, again, as Chesterton says, I have made fiction to suit myself. Brothers and sisters in Christ, we need to tell the truth. We need to tell the truth, but we need to know the truth, and we need to accept it, and we need to accept the consequences for being truthful. And sometimes those are difficult. Well, I've got to get ready for liturgy this morning, but I hope this morning that you'll be able to join us here at St. Cyril and Methodius, Ukrainian Orthodox Church, 1020 Reading Street, Madison, Wisconsin. If you're not in the Madison area and you can't get to liturgy this morning here with us, maybe you'll get to liturgy somewhere where you are. If you're an Orthodox Christian, you should be in church this morning. If you're not an Orthodox Christian, come and check us out. See what is this Orthodox Church thing all about. All right. Well, hope everyone has a very good week. God bless everyone, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.